Well, folks, I figured I'd get back on here and let you know I'm still alive. So, I told you, my middle daughter's passed away. And I figured I'd go. A lot of people have never had something like this happen. They haven't had to take care of things like that. All right. So usually what they probably, well, not usually what they probably do, what they do, they have to have an identification of the body to make sure it's that person. And that's usually done in the morgue, coroner's office. And then they're gonna, depending on the circumstances and such, they'll do an autopsy, and then meanwhile you have to make reservations with a morgue or a not a morgue but a funeral home or a place that does cremation. Now, if you want to save a little bit of money, go through the cremation place and let them pick the body up, take care of it, pick the ashes up from them. If you go through a funeral home and have them cremated, you're going to be paying their fees, also the cremation, so it's going to cost more. So anyhow, what they end up doing is they do a an autopsy, and this in this case they're doing a toxicology report also, which they say that'll take an extra 8 to 10 weeks for that. But you have to call up. I don't know, it might be different in your place, but you got to call up the morgue and say, hey, listen, I called up so and so. They're going to take care of this. They're going to come over and get the body. So that's all prearranged. They know who's supposed to come get the body. And then the morgue, not the morgue, but the funeral home or the cremation place will say, okay, it's going to be 7 to 10 days or something like that, before we have the body ready. So now, if you're going through a funeral home, they'll pretty much guide you through it and take you through everything. If you want to handle it yourself and save a little bit of money, probably quite a bit, and take care of it yourself, uh, like I said, cremation's cheaper way to go, most cost effective, I should say. So it's your preference what you decide you want to do, and you can make up an obituary if you like, and then and have the thing done, and they'll put the thing in the paper for you, or you can do it yourself. You can call up the paper and say, "Listen, I got an obituary," and they'll do it, or the funeral home or whatever will do it for you. Uh, so like I said, because you may not be thinking straight. I mean, all of a sudden you get this call, it's like, oh shit, and now your whole world's kind of like you're not thinking straight, and things may seem surreal to you. So everything's got its place. I mean, you could have somebody that's a good close friend or relative or something help you and take care of things with you. And to get back to that right there, there's people that they found out, they called or came by and expressed their condolences. And then there's some people that even followed up with that, come back later, called later and stuff, and says, hey, how you doing? Just checking up on you, make sure everything's okay, need anything, blah, 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 blah. And those are the people that they're probably more of a friend to you, or they are your friends, than somebody that just, oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. I had friends, they'd had that happen, and blah, blah. It's like, they're not even listening. It's like they really don't give a shit. They got to go off on their own tangent. So just keep all this in mind. Put it in your under your hat there, and keep it there for reference. Because you even have family that's like that. I mean, you call them, oh, sorry to hear that, and that was it. That's all you hear from them. They don't follow up or anything. So those people like that are just toxic. There's no reason to even keep them in your life or keep in contact with them or anything else. I mean, that's your choice. But I'm just saying, a lot of times it's too exhausting to try to keep some sort of relationship with those people. It's exhausting. You don't need that in your life. What you really need in your life is as much peace as you can muster for what that's worth. There's some people out there that just it's hard to understand why people do things they do. They quote have their reasons, or is it just a circumstance? Something they just fall into something. But some people just have a kinder soul to them and are more giving and forgiving and get taken advantage of a lot. And after a while, they don't have anything to give anymore. They just wish it was done. I'm not saying that was the case with my daughter, but I mean, she uh, she had everything going for her as far as personality, looks, heart of gold. Really a a good person. Had her troubles, had her demons, but the world's a cruel place, and it doesn't give a rat's ass about you. This is why when you have friends and people that care about you, you stick together, you band together. Because if you stumble, they're there to help you up. And when all you stumble, there's God. God is always there. God is he should be the center of your life. He should be it. When you have troubles, he knows you have troubles, and he's willing to take those troubles on for you. You probably don't realize how many times he's probably intervened in your life, and you're not even realize that he has. You constantly have to be thanking him, and you have to thank him for his grace and his mercy, because most of us we don't deserve it. Well, I'll bet this thing won't light. It's probably too cold down here. We just got out of the deep freeze today, man. I mean, I'm out here and it's not quite 20 out here. Oh yeah, that's about the best it'll do right there. So I usually go. It's over there. My torch. Well, my propane torch is over there. Hey there. That gun, it acts like it wants to take off, doesn't it? Now I'm wasting your time. You're sitting there screwing. I'm screwing around trying to light a cigar, wasting your time. Basically, what I'm getting at, people, is take care of yourself. First and foremost, take care of yourself. You can't take of any. You can't take care of or help anyone else if you don't take care of yourself. And when I mean take care of yourself, I don't mean just by you know working financially, your health and making sure your shit's together. Okay, I'm talking about God, putting God in your life first and foremost into your life, and He'll help you. He'll make sure you get through it. And then when you move on to somebody that needs help, by God, you're not the only one doing it. God's right there with you. I mean, God already knows that person's in trouble, but there's strength in numbers. Somebody knows they're in trouble, and people show up and help them. It changes their whole outlook on life. It's just like oh, just people in general. Okay, doesn't matter if you're a small child or a grown adult or elderly. Anything in between, being an infant to an elderly person. Human touch is very important. Shaking someone's hand, taking them by the hand, walking up to them, put your hand on their shoulder. You know what I'm saying? Patting them on the back, a hug. That goes a long, long ways with people because some people they don't get that. They don't have that in their life, and it shows you care. That human touch is very important. So remember, there's people. I don't know if I told you the story or not. I don't know if it's a true story or not. If it's not a true story, it's still a good story. There was a guy on a subway, and he was just acting all weird, just antsy and pacing around and stuff, and wouldn't sit down and stuff. And he walks over and he walks over and this old lady sitting in a seat, and he walks over and he kind of stands there for a second, and all she did was reach up and take him by the hand. He calms right down. He calmed down. It calmed his heart, calmed his soul. And then when the stop came, he got off, and somebody was like, you know, why'd you do that? She goes, she's elderly. She's an old lady. She's like, I learned a long time ago. If you just take someone by the hand, show them you care, all of a sudden it just calms their soul. So, I mean, if it's not a true story, it's a good one. So remember stuff like that. I mean, it's important. It's important to let people know you care about them. So, I figured I'd just get on here for however long I've been on here. And hopefully I'll get on here before Christmas, but if not, I'll still wish y'all a Merry Christmas and be careful out there. Some of these roads are treacherous and crazy and stuff, and there's just crazy nut people out there that run around wanting to shoot people up. I mean, it makes absolutely no sense, none. It makes sense if you're crazy, okay, and you're dealing with Satan. Then it makes total sense. But to a normal sane person that believes in God and such, it's like, well, that's stretching it, man. Why the hell are you doing stupid stuff? So, folks, y'all take care, and God be with you and keep you safe and keep you protected, you and your loved ones. Okay.